It's going to be really important that he's like into electronics and he's a TV repair guy and all
Is this
that.
him?
Yeah, so it's like
Are they
supposed to
actually
be
repairing
like
things properly or just putting stuff together?
it's just soldering his feet, I guess. He faces a concussion.
Okay, that's the person who's walking in. Walked him straight into that table. Like, that could just be the TV repair guy's house. Oh, she's out of
Or
frame.
maybe it's just parked on your street. That happens on my street all the time.
Warriors. That's my high school.
But I better go investigate.
Mm-hmm. Come out and play.
I'm going to have to look up this repair guy on Angie's list. that van looks a little rough.
Bankers TV and
Bankers.
questionable abductions.
Yeah.
Right.
A Coke? Didn't his mom and his little sister just die?
I'm in training.
I dreamt of the murder style.
Coach says I have to focus.
A Coke's worse for you than a beer would be.
That's
All
true.
the sugar.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
What the hell's with you? You on drugs or what?
I like that Dad's always mad. Like he follows your acting rule of just bad actors always being mad about everything. He's always like, "What is going on?"
He's got the great early 90s, late 80s Zach Morris haircut. I used to do my hair like that as a 7-year-old, 8-year-old. KKK, just your rally, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. It took me hours to make this clip show to just play when I'm not here as a screen
with
saver.
resources back then, yeah, you would really take a lot of effort to do that.
Yeah, this is like analog splits off to all these different TV screens for no reason. This is definitely not the workplace of a serial killer.
Turn up the volume. I want to hear that CCR over that Vietnam footage.
One of the videos he has is just puppies wrestling on a loop.
Ah! No.
It's a puppy bowl.
This is my business. Police
I'm
business.
just mad again.
And this fucker just
You
killed 4 of my
broke
men.
your radio, Dad.
With a guy like that? Hey, you get the hell home and let me deal with this.
She's like, that's one way to read those lines.
Yeah, it's a decision. That's an
How
acting
about you
choice.
don't yell all of them, maybe?
Yeah.
Why did you tell
love
the
that
press?
headline. If dreams could kill.
Are you sure you're not still concussed?
No, I'm just dumb.
Yeah, I'm always like this. You know
I'm just
that.
always dumb.
You say we've been together for a year, but we all act like we just met when the movie started.
Chemistry in these two is...
Yeah, really. Yeah, I hope she's okay.
Why didn't he psychically see her dying?
You are
Why did he just
concussed as
psychically see
fuck.
his mum?
Yeah, Farai, why didn't you dream about that? I call bullshit
Don't go
on
in
your
there, kid.
psychic powers.
It's her birthday, not his birthday.
Jonathan, happy birthday.
Yeah, come on, Horace. That's phoning it in. Watch the
Ew.
hands, Jonathan. Come on. Hey. Come on now.
Ugh. Her
Talk about
mouth
a
is probably
corpse
sewn
body.
shut here, guys. That always freaks me out.
Yeah, don't kiss the corpse.
Yeah, that's
A
not
lot of
cool.
makeup.
The makeup. They did a good job.
Yeah. This is why we cremated.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
None
keep
of this.
Peter Berg. away
Yeah,
from me.
from kissing me.
Drag me
The one that
straight to hell.
kissing me.
I've known since I was a child that Peter Berg would try to kiss me on my deathbed.
Soon as I was dead, kissing starts.
I like his pluck, though. He is always like, I will go fight that guy, that 8-foot guy with the Rambo
Right.
knife.
See,
Or
he's
at
like this
least
because
let
the
him
dad
punch
is
him a few
touching him,
times.
and so the anger is transferring to him.
Yeah, exactly.
See, while he's being held,
What's happening right now?
Dude,
What are we
this is
watching?
very weird. It'd be funny if they walked in like, guys, can we turn that music down? It's a little inappropriate.
For real? Yeah, I would love
And
I don't
then
think we should play like
Come
some
on, guys. Yeah.
in the viewing gallery. That's. We got cartoon lightning on him.
Why is he just like a crash dummy? Mitch Pileggi really makes it work. I really like watching Mitch Pileggi in this role. He's having a lot of fun.
He might be your father, but he ain't your daddy, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this would be a great monologue for like some acting class. You know what I mean? You can see this like in the office or something like Michael doing
I've
this.
prepared this, yeah.
And he's like, because it sounds almost like some weird. I guess he's like, what is this? It's like, oh yeah, I beat you real good. It's from 1989 classic. Shocker. Everybody's like so confused, and it looks like he's getting electrocuted. What the hell? It's either that or I'm imagining this is like a kid's school play. It would be really funny. You know what I mean? Like these scenes, these kids all in police outfits yelling at each other. This is like it happens in Wes Anderson.
Yeah, was it like in Rushmore where he
that's what I was saying.
Plays? Yeah.
This is
Use your acting.
Hi.
Like, oh, jeez.
Remember our love.
We dated on and off for a year. You said it yourself.
it's like love.
Yeah, I gave you a
Love you,
necklace.
I'm glad you gave this to me because I kind of wanted it back, but I thought it'd be a little distasteful. Oh my god, waterbeds are a nightmare.
Yeah, they're not good for your back.
He needs the vibromatic.
Still gotta have the vibromatic. It's for my back. I got a
His back's gonna be
prescription.
bad from sleeping on that waterbed, so.
Exactly. I need to make up for all the damage the waterbed does. No. The exchanges are awesome.
Yeah.
He says, hey, come over here. He's like, let you shoot me like a dog? No, I'll stand right here and let you do
He's
that.
omniscient, but he's a terrible shot. This feels like they ran out of money or script or something in a day, and they're just like, we're at this park. I don't know.
Just shoot a park scene. Yeah.
Have him like fight that guy. He could be a runner, and then he just pulls up to the same set where they just were.
Now you just
Leans-
start poking his bullet hole.
Like this, yeah, we could waste about 10, 15 minutes here.
Because he doesn't drag his foot like that when in his normal like body.
I
But
didn't even
everyone
notice
else who
it till
does
these
the
other
limp,
people, yeah.
the leg isn't useful at all. I like how it's just a backhoe here that he can. Ah, this is good.
Another great little sequence right there. Her limping, getting
She's
over.
great.
Tiny fucker. That's to get out of context. What is this? It's pretty good writing for blood.
It's man. Why did they even bother to clean this place up?
Oh, cool. Care Bear stare.
Yeah, this is a Jacob's Ladder scenario. Was he just knocked out at the beginning and then this is all a
this
dream?
this
Is
is
this-
all just his concussion.
Either
after
that,
the very
this is-
first scene.
This is like the third act of the Cable Guy. Yeah.
Just with a smaller dish.
Yeah.
It's like Goldeneye on a budget.
Somebody's got to kill the babysitter.
What are you doing to my dad?
Rhino friend forever.
We're friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're friends.
Why don't you ever invite me over for this? Like, well,
Do what you asked us to do.
you know how things
Seems
are.
like my white friends only ever call me when
Yeah.
they're wanted by the cops.
Enough time.
Oh gosh.
Why doesn't his girlfriend get speakers?
Holy hell. He starts swimming away.
I'm always delighted by how afraid of her he is every time he sees her. Like, Jesus!
He just swam completely away
Nice,
from
right?
it.
Ghost!
Oh my god, that
Get with the damn program, Jonathan.
because TV's just like a dream. It's the same realm.
Ah! Stop
What's-
doing that!
Oh my god, this is the ring. It stole it. It stole it.
That's right. Wes Craven came up with it first.
This is the longest punchline to this thing.
I know that this is like a 3-point setup. They
Oh my
showed
god,
him
it
in that
turned
thing
into what's
twice.
the chair from Pee Wee's
Not the
Playhouse.
chair.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Chair.
Is it Cherry?
yeah, it is.
Oh god. Oh, that's creepy. Sitting on me. I was like,
Another weird
oh,
moment.
he just jumped in the TV. What is happening? Oh my goodness, this is great.
Nothing seems stupid in the 80s.
He has motion control too in that remote. He's just
I guess
swinging
so.
it
Like,
around.
what? How is it?
It's got a gyro. It's like early. This is advanced. I probably would have loved this movie when I saw it when I was a kid too.
I
Just because
did
I'm like,
love this movie. I was like,
this is like
this is
such
blowing my mind.
10-year-old logic, and then
Roll awesome song.
he just walks off. What happened to his friends at the power plant? Are they arrested now? He's just
Don't
like,
care. Doesn't
thanks,
matter.
yeah.
I felt like there was a lot of room for a sequel here because that wasn't a definitive death of the character. But unfortunately,
He just faded. Yeah.
That's because they used all of their ideas in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. That would be like now, what are we gonna do for Shocker 2? It's like, yeah,
Electric
leave a little something on
Boogaloo,
the field
see?
next time, guys. Yeah, Electric Boogaloo would have been awesome. Yeah, I think someone should do a Shocker remake right now.
Yeah, I feel like when did that Stay Tuned movie come out? Let's look that up now, because I feel like they wanted to make a hard version of. I mean, that came out after, I'm sure, but yeah, it's only like a couple years apart, so it feels like they're honing in on this TV idea in a big way, and like the name and just like the whole electricity thing's just the last half of the first act, or like the last little 10 minutes.
That first bit where before he even became the Shocker, that was like a whole movie's worth of stuff.
Yeah, and it was more interesting. Like if he just had it, because what's weird is they show him as a TV repair guy, and they say like no one can figure out how he's getting in and out of these houses to kill people. And you think, well, he has powers. He's going through the TV now, right?
Right.
No, he's just a regular guy.
And then he's got this workshop that has this weird wall that can come and go for no reason. We never.
Yeah, and it turns out that doesn't matter.
The psychic powers that don't matter again towards the end. Is it because he's his dad? He never confirms that.
Yeah, it's just part of the world. Like there's not even an origin point. Some things we just accept as part of the world.
Even
Like
Daddy,
he has psychic
dad,
dreams about this guy because he's his dad, and that's before any of the weird voodoo stuff is introduced into the story.
Well, that's what stories, I mean, good stories that have started doing. I mean, they do most of the time. That's like I told you about. The best stories do that, especially when it gets weird. Like that's what I remember. I told you before Inception came out. I was like, so they're going to go into dreams? That sounds stupid. Like, how are they going to explain that? And then the movie was just like, no, that's what we do. Like, okay. Just how it works. They don't explain any of it. It's like,
if anything, where that movie starts to break down is they start to exposit as to how the physics of dreams happen when you get deeper, like the dream within the dream kind of stuff, and it all breaks down because it's way too complicated. But it would be better if you just said, look, we can go into dreams and then we do a thing where you try to extract an idea, or you can try to insert an idea, which is an interesting concept because they're like, that's a big no-no because you mess with people's minds doing that.
Well, I'm a huge fan of that movie. It's one of my favorite. I like the time stuff now because I like the adding that. But that's what I'm saying is like that. Now, and even some of those Stephen King things, a lot of those stories are based on, this is a supernatural thing happening. The rest of the world has to catch up to it. We're not explaining why they're supernatural. It's just like...
But it still has a consistent sort of physics that works. They don't explain why it's there or what it is, but what makes Stephen King ideas work is because he starts introducing ideas that are unnatural, but they seem to have their own consistent physics as to what they can do.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, I don't know. I've never read a lot of Stephen King beyond certain ones, but what I liked about that Outsider, and then also it's in that Mr. Mercedes too, is that there's parts of it where it's like, this is a real world, but this crime happened by a supernatural premise, and people have to come to terms, like the police.
Well, that's what
you can convince one person, but you can't convince a department.
I haven't read the book of the.
I watched the show,
but I did enjoy that concept in the show. Like I thought that was really good because everyone was pretty well grounded in their reaction to it. It's like, I'm not throwing it out. Like I'm not unreasonable, but I can't
that's crazy.
Buy into you saying that just because that's what you think is going on here. And it's
that's what I'm saying.
They keep getting introduced to more and more weird evidence that they can't turn their backs on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this movie starting with people getting killed through their TVs. And then, obviously, this is just like a bad shit of a crazy different movie. But I'm saying that premise of a serial killer, if you're going to go there, and then they start trying to catch up to that idea.
And make the people consistent with that. Like you have the dad where he's like, look, Dad, I dreamed about that murder. So.
And you had this thing where that kid watches.
I know where it's going to happen again.
Well,
he's like,
when
all right, well, let's go to that TV repair shop with a bunch, not even you and me, and check it out. Let's take a bunch of cops with us, kick in the door legally, and poke around. And then it turns out the guy really is the killer and he kills people. And later on, like, you're just going crazy, Jonathan. It's like, but we
that's what I'm
found him
saying
because
though.
of my psychic dreams.
Yeah, but if you do that, if he is his son, you want to keep all that stuff. You also have it where he has sort of the same power, but he also a kid, and he's like a teenager or whatever that watches too much TV. So when he's telling everybody this, it's like, well, I was like in this cowboy show, and then I went and I saw this more. It's like, what do you fell asleep watching TV?
I can't believe we're trying to make sense of this.
I'm not trying to make sense of it. I can't help myself but try to make a better version. It's like,
it's because the version. This is really just every idea just thrown at the wall. Like,
yeah, it's just a mess.
And then he goes in the TV. And then.
But it's
like
weird.
It's a cocaine field pitch. Okay. Let me tell you what.
I mean, it's weird though because as a kid, only experiencing this as a VHS box in the store, seeing it, it's called Shocker, and it has a guy getting electrocuted on the cover. You're like, okay, it's like he goes, it's a murderer guy, has nothing to do with electricity, but just something happens when he gets electrocuted, or doesn't get electrocuted, he survives, and he starts killing other people. Seems like a straightforward story. But the weird thing about it is, like, what they're interested in this movie has nothing to do with any of that. It's all about the TV and this
Those
other.
Are just things that
like
happen.
Why is this kid on a football team the main character of this story? Like, it's just so weird. You would have like a cop be the main character of the story. Like the dad would have been like the main character.
And why did the girlfriend sometimes have power and sometimes not?
Yeah, like why did the necklace sometimes have power? Like if he showed him the necklace, he'd be scared of it. But if he accidentally touched it without knowing you were wearing it, he didn't even notice it was there.
And then she could just show up sometimes, and sometimes she had God beams, and then sometimes.
Yeah, like why are you making me go through all this shit?
Yeah, there's there's too many of those logic things at the end there. It's like
there's so many climaxes, as you said. Like this is the end of the movie, but no, it keeps going.
They're gonna make it bigger.
It like ends, and there's.
And we're forgetting the 20 minutes they spend at the park right in the middle. Too, where they run away from the jail, and there's 20 minutes in a park where a little kid becomes him
running around.
Where he just it becomes a thing where they can transfer.
Like that little girl was awesome. She could have been the murderer for the rest of the movie, and I would have loved it. She's great.
Well, they keep transferring it, then transferring to different people until like they
talk about spinning your wheels. It's like if he leaves his body at the point that he's electrocuted, like they see the body burn up and all that kind of stuff. Like, wouldn't it have been much easier in the movie to just say at that point he can travel as electricity? Why are you doing it? Is like a budgetary thing.
Skipping bodies, that whole bit where he's skipping bodies could have been taken out.
Yeah.
Also, they bring him back when he keeps coming back.
Electricity.
Also, when he keeps coming back, if you think about it, if we want to really get into this, he keeps coming back. Like he materializes as the weird effect, and then he becomes real again. Why is he wearing his prison outfit? He had it for a day. You think if it's like
why is that my identity?
Well, yeah, if it's like a self-life, it's like what are they? In Matrix, it's like your perceived self-image. It's like he at least have his old clothes on.
He was like, "This suit is the shit."
It's crash test dummies.
That shows you the '80s influence there, because the idea was we were going to create him to be this iconic '80s slasher character. Yeah. So that's his look, the crash test dummy outfit that he was executed.
He's not a bad character. At least, I mean, they never ever even go into his motivation. Like, why is he murdering people? Because he likes murdering people. He's just a bad.
Yeah, he's just really mean.
Right.
I guess you save that for the sequel. You want to do the sequel where you like explain more of his backstory.
Why do '80s murderers all know voodoo?
I know.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
That's such a lazy writing device that they just
like,
know black magic.
Child's play thing right at the beginning. It's like,
yeah,
like they have to like, yeah. I guess that's true because we could ask all these questions and they could be like, well, it was like a black man. You remember he was doing you're like.
Like this guy's backstory sounds wildly more interesting than the movie we watched. It's like, what was he? He's like a TV repairman,
but it's so funny.
Serial murderer who also is an accomplished black magician.
It's funny with
he had a wife and kids at one point, but he killed the wife, and the kid went into the foster system, but doesn't remember him. Maybe.
Yeah, that might and he got maimed, but didn't go to jail. Interesting.
Wes Craven, man. That was a great movie to watch.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I like the idea that he just got his bell rung at the beginning of the movie, and the rest is just a concussed fever dream. that
would have been. Yeah, that would have made more sense, I think.
It is funny. We were watching Megan had never seen House, and I love House. That's like one of my favorites too. Another '80s classic. Have you guys seen House?
I haven't.
Oh, we should have watched that instead.
Well, we can do that next week.
Maybe we should now.
Okay,
We say that. Maybe we should put House on the list because I love House. It's goofy as hell, but it holds up for me.
Before we start recording this time.
Well, we'll come up with more of a game plan. I had a bad plan this time around.
This makes total sense now. Now that I'm seeing the timeline in IMDb, because this came after all the Freddy stuff, so he's at the top of the world. This is Wes Craven at his peak.
Yeah, this is him at his Serpent in the Rainbow. He'd already done a voodoo movie.
Well, yeah, this is him going full Nolan, full Lucas on this thing. Going, I got this. We got this. We didn't even, don't you want to gotta develop and talk about the script more? We got this. We're gonna shoot this.
This is a classic in the sense that what happened to these guys is he created Freddy. He didn't own Freddy, and then they made like 1 million Freddy movies, and he kind of got locked out of his own franchise. So at some point, like, I'm gonna build another one of these franchise characters, and we'll make that work. So like when Romero was like, I'm gonna do a remake of Night of the Living Dead, and at least I can make some money off of that, and then they didn't really make money. And like House is another one, like, and Sean Cunningham didn't really like what they did with Jason and all that. He thought, well, I'll just create a different iconic character, and they did House, and nobody bought into House at all. Like every time these guys try to sort of create an icon that they can sort of control financially, like, it never works. And it's always these guys who created something and turned out being a massive franchise for somebody else. And like, well, I'm going to do that again, but we'll do it even bigger, and it'll be even better. And people are like, I don't like it.
But but it feels like, yeah, that makes sense though. It feels like he's still, I mean, at the top of those movies, even if he didn't make money, he's still like at his confidence peak level, probably in his career.
You have to be at confidence peak level to make Shocker.
Yeah, that's what I mean though.
Like, this is
after
gonna
that,
work.
if you look at his stuff at all, it's like
sometimes it's like you think they go on about studio interference and that sort of thing, but sometimes you think maybe if some of these ideas had been filtered through a studio interference, they might have come out a bit more.
Yeah, sometimes you need another hand on the wheel. I think by the end of the 80s, like, Shocker is sort of emblematic of just the excess that people would allow in the 80s, and it sort of blew out by the end of the 80s. Like, after that, like,
blew out.
People just didn't like that. And then in the 90s, things became incredibly iconoclastic, and everybody wanted super realistic. Like, Scream was based in the real world, nothing supernatural.
Too cool for it. Like, everyone in the 90s was like, oh, that stuff from the 80s was silly. We're too cool for that. We just have to have sarcasm and funniness.
And you watch that 90s stuff, and it's unbearable in places in its own lovable way. Like, it's not any more sophisticated. That's where we're stuck now with people who are trying to make superhero stories that are very gritty and real, and you're like, ugh. It's more nerdy that you want to make this realistic and dark.
Well, he did a good job of directing, although he directed all the screams and stuff. So it's like, it's funny how, like,
he's a good director.
I'm just saying that these directors get to a level where they're like, I can write the better movie myself too. And I mean, it's just exactly what Lucas and Nolan they all did. And then you get to like, yeah, it's a little weird in different ways. I was like, maybe it's better.
I don't think this one worked for me.
Yeah, let's not do that. So yeah, I think that's I was actually like, I don't know what to expect. I mean, you're not like, obviously it's not like a movie, enjoyable movie. Like, but like, it's very. I was actually
enjoyable.
Well, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, like, that was fun. I thought it was fun. It was a fun movie to watch like this.
Yes, not something that I would choose to watch normally.
Yeah, it feels like a fever dream
at this time of the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us,
in the morning.
It's getting right around bedtime for me. I'll be up all night.
Yeah, like,
sloshing in my waterbed.
Having nightmares.
How is water not the main theme of this? How is he not like, he was an electric monster? How is he not like?
And water seemed to be like, she always appeared in water. Like, she appears in the lake, she appears in the shower. You know, like,
and he had the waterbed right
imagery
there. Why
is
didn't he
there.
just chuck the TV in the waterbed. Done.
What? Yeah, you would think that water would have been introduced since he's Shocker. He's electricity. Like, water would have been introduced. It's raining all the damn time during all the funerals.
It's raining all the time for no reason.
Yeah, that is weird. That does seem like a setup that never pays off.
But like, is that a thing? Like, because like at the end, it's raining a lot, and then he walks out, and the sky's clear. Is that a thing? Was that?
Yeah. Are we missing? Is there a deeper thing to this than are we missing?
Did this movie actually have meaning?
I'm gonna break this thing wide open, scene for scene.
The whole thing was a metaphor.